Hello, everyone.
Hi. Welcome to Project Pack 21. Hi, Molly.
Hey, how's it going? I'm sitting here with my sister Martha, as usual. So excited to be able to sit and create with her. And we've had a lot of fun with this project pack, haven't we?
We have had a lot of fun.
Yes. And basically that's what we like to do. We like to teach you all something. We like to spread happiness and try to inspire all of you to be creative and to push you beyond the edges of Zentangle awesomeness. And this project pack is another excuse to do all of that. So in this project pack, it is summer here in New England, and we are thinking all about gardens and plants and all kinds of awesomeness. And we are particularly thinking about our tangle genus of organic tangles. But what we're doing here is a little bit different because we're kind of playing with traditional organic tangles, but then also playing with tangles that could become organic.
Well, it's kind of stretching the way you look at things and morphing things into something more organic than it was originally intended.
Exactly. And what we're doing is sort of creating these little identities of botanical illustrations that are inspired by the Zentangle method.
And as usual, if you do not have a project pack of your very own, you may use whatever you have at home and join with us. And if you do have a project pack number 21, please note that we will be using the project pack envelope, this envelope right here, in the last video of the series. So please do not throw it away or alter it in any way.
Awesome.
Want to get started?
I would love to get started.
So I have all my materials here, and got this nice little pouch with everything in it. It's very handy.
Most of the pens and pencils.
Oh yeah, we are definitely gonna do that. However, today I'm gonna show you a new tangle. I know. So we are gonna start off. I'm gonna do a little bit of a demonstration first, just so you guys get the idea of what we're working with, and then because I have so much faith in all of you, we're gonna just jump right into taking this new tangle to another dimension.
I think we should take a moment.
Oh, let's take a moment.
A moment for gratitude, because I feel like it's such an important part of the Zentangle method, and sometimes when we're doing these videos, we get so excited to share these things with you that we forget to sort of like take it down a notch and just pause for a minute. And we know that all of you at home can, of course, just hit the bijou button, aka pause or mute. But we encourage you to always take a minute in the beginning of your practice to honor the first step, and that's gratitude. So I invite you to, once you have all your materials gathered and your space kind of all organized, I invite you to maybe gently close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. And just for a moment, think about something you're grateful for in this very moment. And whether you hang on to that one thing, or you soon realize that gratitude too becomes bigger and leads to other things that you are grateful for so quickly. Give yourself another few deep breaths, and remember that you can pause at any moment in your life or in your practice to honor that step. You ready?
That was so nice. And one thing you just said made me realize that we can plant some gratitude in our garden.
Oh my goodness, so much gratitude.
Yeah, and
it's
see,
like fertilizer.
I know, and just see how it grows. The more you show attention to it, the more it grows. Yeah.
It is true though. Like the second you think of one thing you're grateful for, and then you're like, well, it's like if you give a mouse a cookie.
I know.
You're like, well, if I'm grateful for this, then I'm actually.
Then you have to be grateful for that.
And then I guess I'm also grateful for this, and it's. Thanks, Martha.
Exactly.
I'm grateful for you.
Oh, sister, I'm grateful for you too. All right, so we're gonna do a little demo here of this tangle that is probably new to you for many people, and it is a tangle called Foundabout.
So exciting. The step out is in the newsletter. If you don't get our newsletter, I encourage you to. It's a great one, and you can find the access to that on our website.
So I'm going to demo basic Foundabout here, and then we're going to have some fun with it on our pages that we're working on. So here I'm going to start with, it's kind of a arced stem, and it has this wonderful curve. And then about halfway up the stem, I'm going to draw the very same shape, but going in the opposite direction. And what we're really doing is we're building a spine here. So the next one comes about halfway up, arced over this direction, about halfway up. And you get the idea.
This is definitely one of those tangles you want to play around, like get a scratch piece of paper and do it like a bunch of times. Just play around with it, get your...
All right, so now that we've laid down this foundation, we're going to start to build some leaf shapes off of these spines. And the important thing to remember here is you have to start at the bottom and work your way up and build off of the stems in the same order that you created them in the first place. So off of this stem right here, I'm going to draw just kind of a gentle little leaf shape, like a teardrop almost. And then I'm going to go to the next stem that I drew and sort of mirror image that on this side. And continue with this rhythm all the way to the top. Now we're going to go return to the bottom, and now we're going to draw the other half of this leaf. But of course, now every time I do it, I'm going to be bumping into the shape that I drew before. So here's the other half of the leaf, and it's going to be behind this one. Now this is really important. You have to do it in the same order again. Then to this side. And finish at the top. And now just looking at this finished here, you can imagine all the variations that are possible by changing the shape of the leaf or the shape of the spine. And it's kind of like a tulip shape, don't you think?
It does, yeah.
There's a tulip a little bit.
There's definitely so many opportunities for like the character of the lines, and what I encourage you all to do is to like I said, get a piece of paper and just either rewatch that little tutorial with Martha and just get a feel for it, because it's kind of like a dance. And then once you get the dance, you're like,
and
good.
You can cluster them together. You can fill them with any type of fragment. The shading is really fun on this. So
yeah. And like I said, the step out is in the newsletter.
I'm ready now to put our notes and illustrations that we found in the Tangled Garden. We found a really cool...
Well, it's pretty rare you found one. So I think that you need to document quick, because
this is true.
Things don't last
This
forever.
is really true. So what we've discovered is there's this unbelievable plant. It's kind of like a stalk that has pulled in some pollination from all different tangles. So anyway, we're going to do a fun play on the Foundabout. and we are calling it Fee, Fi, Fo, Foundabout. And maybe you're going to see why in a minute. Okay, so we're going to start here. We're going to build this this tangle that's inspired by Foundabout, but instead of using a little, just a simple spine, we're going to make a spine that is actually a stalk of Muka.
Oh, no.
Yes, so you can feel free to watch me first. Growing from the bottom, I'm going to grow a lovely Muka. And then I'm going to grow another one about halfway up. And you can see where I'm going with this, about halfway up. And this is going to be this wonderfully strong foundation for our Fee, Fi, Fo Foundabout. Maybe one more over here. It's a smaller one.
So elegant.
It's kind of pretty like that.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, so I'm going to return down to the bottom of my stalk here and start adding some leaf shapes to it. And in the same way, I'm going to draw sort of a gentle shape here, but because I've got this Muka here, I want to kind of take off and land. See how I did that? Yours might feel a little different depending on the angle of your Muka. Kind of taking off and land. Maybe there, and then taking off. Again, your Muka has a little bit of a different quality than mine does, and that's perfectly lovely. And one more up here, smaller one like that. And then coming down again to the bottom and completing the other side. This one here, now I'm going to go draw the other side. Each time you bump up against one of them, you can draw behind. You can see how it's important that you go in sequence. That's kind of how they get all layered together.
Yeah, it's definitely from the bottom up. You have to.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to kind of ink in any of these little crooks, a little Muka crook.
Little bits of love as you go along, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, so perhaps growing out of this stalk, we have some little halvesies, if you will, some petals that haven't fully formed. So I'm just going to add where you have maybe some empty spaces in between, as if I was doing a Muka, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to back pedal. There's some cute little half shapes here and there. This one come off like I'm doing a Muka, but then I come back around. And you can do them all the way up or add a few here and there, however it looks on your stalk. Kind of has a gourd look to it also.
Oh my gourd.
Oh my gourd. This one can jump the fence, if you will. Maybe there's a little one down here.
That's a real cool shape.
Okay, so now we have this kind of basic stock here, and we're gonna see what's going on inside, if you will. So I believe inside each one of these petals is a wonderful, beautiful spiral. So retracing this stalk here, I'm going to draw a spiral. And the spiral continues as if it's pulled tight all the way up the stem in smaller and smaller strokes. Let's do this again. So on this one, we're going to start up the spine here, draw our spiraling in, and then it's as if it has an echo, and it echoes up the inside like that.
Well, I know that's printemps, but it also looks a lot like...
Whoop! Yes, it does. It does. It does look like bijou.
Yeah.
Starting up the spine.
These are so fun, Martha, and there's a lot going on, so take your time. Feel free to pause, kind of think about the strokes. And honestly, whatever you do, if you do it a little different, just do it the same in each one.
Yeah. I just love how these little spirals fit right into that shape. So we're seeing how we're just doing the ones that go right up the center. And I'm going to go back and add a little weighting to these spirals. Just a little extra bit of ink. All going in one direction. Kind of helps draw your eye.
You really need the contrast to kind of make the composition come about.
Any opportunity to add extra ink is very welcome. Now we have these sort of half petals here, and you can play around with any number of embellishments, but I was playing around with just adding a little kind of a pocket like that. Kind of looks like it's coming out of the seed as it's been growing. It's just a curved shape, very much like what we were working with. and then the illusion that it's kind of popping out of the seed. Again, this is just like filling in spaces. So if you have an idea or something you want to experiment with, feel free. And then, let's see. Maybe add some little striping in there. So I think what I'm imagining with this stock here is that there's often like bubbles around it. Some dewdrop bubbles from the morning. And so I'm going to add in some fun little orbs, I think, kind of where the stock meets the ground. And, you know, you can have fun with this. And perhaps there are some that have nestled in between here too. You can get them right up there into the crook of the muka.
I'm sure you all can understand why this is such a rare plant to find.
I love how these orbs can fit into any space. Sometimes it's just the thing to tie things together too. And now we also have, I don't know, where this stem came out down here. We did this on our other project together, where you create this little illusion by drawing a line here, and this stem magically comes out.
Oh, a little tucker.
Yeah. You kind of anchor it down there. And we'll add some shading to it as well. So use this time to add any other bits of ink or rounding or orbs. Kind of pulling it all together. Okay, Martha, this is a lot going on this thing. This is a lot, and I love it so much. And
it's a very sturdy stock.
It's a sturdy stock. It's a rare species, and I'm so grateful that we found it today.
Me too.
Yeah, and we're logging it in. I'm going to add a little bit to this documented piece of paper. But specifically what I think would be fun, and you came up with this idea, so I'm going to go with it, is to sort of in these in the 4 pieces, kind of do the raw versions of the tangles to kind of show what you use to
kind of the elemental ideas.
How
the
like
together.
Components, or
components,
shall we say? So up in this top one, and we're going to start with the easiest one, or one of the easier ones. I'm going to do a printemps that just kind of fills the space. So nice and slow, just a beautiful spiral that kind of fills this triangular space. Just taking my time. And then just add a little bit of rounding to some of these strokes. Or more, this is more weighting, I guess, to kind of give it that look. So there's our printemps. And then I think I'm going to do the Orbeez up here, the orbs you put there. So I'm going to put that in here, just starting in the middle. Again, starting with the two very basic tangles that you put in here.
A wonderful texture tangle in
right?
itself.
Well, just opening up different options of how to fill your template. I think I was telling our students this, me and Martha just recently actually taught a class doing organic tangles. We had a blast. The work that people created was...
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Shout out to our friends at Kripalu. That was such a fun class.
Really fun. And we had a lot of fun with organic tangles, and they created these beautiful pieces, and it was great. And amongst it, I was telling them about, and maybe some of you have been to this place, but there's a beautiful permanent exhibit at the Harvard Natural History Museum in Boston, Massachusetts. And it's this exhibit called the Glass Flowers exhibit, I believe. And it's all of these real, actual species in our world, specimens that were collected, and then they created these glass replicas of them. So they look like real flowers, but they're not. They're glass.
That's amazing.
And it's, if you're ever in Boston, I recommend it. It's such a cool exhibit, and it's old. I think it's from like the 1800s, and they still have it. And I'm thinking that someday somebody might make these tangled species out of glass.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Would be so cool. All right, so there's my tipple, or my orbs that you use. And now I'm going to do like a little mini foundabout down here. So, and I have to try to figure out this beautiful stroke Martha did. So it was a nice curved stroke, and the muka, and a nice, beautiful thin stem, just like that. And then this kind of take off and land round seedy shape. And then I think this other one will do like that. So we're not going to put the spiral in there, right? Yeah, because it's sort of these elemento. Oh, that looks so cute. I love it. And then last but not least, I think in this one, we're going to do the seeds. And Martha, tell them about the seeds, because you had a very particular vision of the seeds. Yeah.
This is true. And we will make note of this later when we're filling in our field notes areas. But what's really incredible about this particular discovery is that this plant, you must plant the seeds in pairs, or else it won't thrive. So that's very important, that there's always two seeds together when you plant it.
All right, so those are our seeds, just like a fun little seed shape. And then putting that little spiral in it, which is sort of sweet. Okay. All right, so I'm going to cap my pen. Oh, and actually, I see, Martha, you did this kind of cool thing I'm going to add to that. She added some auras here. So I might do that too. Okay. And that'll pop back out once we put the shading in. So I'm going to play around with a little shading here. So I think first what I want to do is add, I want to add a little color to the stalk itself, but I think I'm going to play around with just coloring in the spiral. So I'm just going to kind of I'll show you guys one and then we can do them all. Gonna blend that green in. And then just a little graphite in the top. So we have sort of a darker green at the top. Something like that. Oh, Martha, that makes such a difference. Love it.
Beautiful.
So these pastel pencils are like so wonderful to work with, and they just kind of melt into the surface, and then you can play around with blending and
layering of the different pencils.
yeah,
Really neat.
so awesome. Well, that looks pretty cool just
Really
as is. So let's add a little bit of shading to these guys behind. Just kind of playing with the ones that are kind of in the back here. All right, and I might do some up here, just where it falls behind. Just taking your time. Yours is going to look a little different than ours, and that's totally fine. And I think I'll leave it like that for now. If anything else sort of comes about, I love these that little detail, that long thing. That's awesome.
It's like wanting to be a little muka shape.
It's wanting to be.
Get there.
Oh. Now I'm going to do a little bit of background to sort of hold space. I'm going to choose this sort of red color. And I'm just putting a little bit on the edges, again, just I'm going to carry it in. So you don't need too much, nice and light. You can always go put more in, you know, so. All right, and then I'm actually going to layer a little bit of yellow. Let's see what happens. Just a little bit on top, and then when we pull it out with the tortillon, it'll see what happens. And you'll kind of get the hang of how to add more or less of the pastel pencils. Like we said, it is nice you can layer them. So if you want to bring some of it in a little bit, go back over it. Definitely get different hues and blends. I feel like putting in these sort of backgrounds really makes it look like it deserves space on them.
That makes it look much more important.
Oh, I love it. There's something about like switching up the process a little bit, and you're working on your piece, then you're working on the back and creating this foreground and background. So I'm liking this a lot. It's kind of, I'm just gonna add a little bit of graphite here in a couple places to make it not so, make it a little dirty. But like you said, it kind of antiques it. I like that about it. If you like the more raw pigments, you can skip this part. Dulls it down a little bit. Taking your time. All right, so that's pretty special as is. I think we should add a little bit to these little squares too. So you can do it the same way. You can alter up the I'm gonna do red on the outside of each one. And then yellow. You put some yellow in there. These are just adorable. I
know,
love
they
those
make me happy.
seeds. Oh my goodness, so cute. All right, and then
You can see how this tortillon became the yellow and red tortillon together.
this orange one. Yeah, when you're using all the colors, that kind of does happen. So much love you can put into every page of these, as you can see, and we're trying to offer all the different flavors to you guys, and you can make them all yours by doing, you know, some of this or some of that. Encouraging you to take your time. I'm actually so excited. I get so excited every project pack. I can't wait to after we release one to go on the app and be like, oh, there's one, there's another one, there's another one. Just love to see them. All right, and then last but not least, I like to make it a little dirty. Add a little graphite to the edges. These are like collected archives from a different age, right?
Such a nice touch.
So cute. Anything else, Martha? Am I missing anything? What do you think? Oh, oh yes, we need to put in a little bit of the, so what's cool about, first I'm going to add a little rounding. And then what's cool about this is that it's actually red. The seed is red before it turns green. So.
Yes. Very important.
Yes.
Seed coupling.
The coupling?
We need
Very,
two of them.
very scientific. Yeah, I like it. All right, so we're going to add our naming of this super specimen that we've located in our tangled garden. And the name of this is a play on something that a lot of kids know when they hear this from the fairy tale of Jack and the Beanstalk. And I hope I'm spelling this the right way, but
I bet there's a bunch of different ways to spell it.
E by faux.
Perfect. That's so fun.
Right. So you can kind of get your own rhythm of how you write your names of things. You might want to use different pens or some other system. Molly used a gel pen last time. I'm going to use the black pen when filling in my field notes.
Yeah, since they are a collection, it's up to you whether you want to do them all different or you have, like, you know, you write with the same pen on each one. There's a lot of different ways to approach it.
And obviously you can spend more time on that, however you see fit. So the virtues of this tangled specimen are that this foundabout stock symbolizes strength and curiosity. Again, you can come up with your own virtues.
I love all the different handwritings around. Everybody has so much personality in their handwriting.
And also, I heard that you can carry the dried beans around for creative good luck.
Oh!
So the dried beans.
I'm actually drying some beans at home right now. Quick drying them.
Creative luck.
Love that.
One thing we noted earlier, and this is really important, that you must plant the seeds in pairs.
Look at how cute they are together.
It's so fun. So in the description, we like to put down sort of the elemental tangle strokes that we use, what we were inspired to combine, and we have Muka, of course, Foundabout, and Printemps.
Is there S on that? No.
Oh, maybe there's an S.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks right. And, gee, where this has been found. Well, the research we have done has shown us that it thrives in salty air.
Ooh. That's funny. So do you.
As do I know. And also sandy soil. And can be found vining up a rocky bluff.
Love that.
You might find your fee-fi-fo foundabout in a different place, but that's where I found mine.
You might even try to say fee-fi-fo foundabout a few times.
50 times. Yeah.
That was
Anyway,
a fun one,
thanks,
Martha.
guys. That was really fun.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what you all create.
Yes. Enjoy the rest of your day.
And maybe you'll find some magic foundabout beans somewhere too.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Bye.